Všetky slovanistky a slovanistov pozdravujeme s ďalšou 12. epizódou nášho podcastu Na Tehelnom poli. Ideme v rýchlom slede, ale to aj preto, že máme nového trénera, ktorým je slávny bývalý hráč a aktuálne náš coach Yaya Touré. Yaya, welcome, thank you for coming here.
Thank you very much, Jakob.
It's been busy days, I guess, for you. Yeah. So how was for you these days so far?
A lot of movement. Right, and a lot of information, and try to prepare, organize things, because it's the pre-season. It's not that easy, but all good, under control.
Mm-hmm. When was the first meeting or something that you maybe can join Slovan Bratislava as a head coach?
Yeah, I think we started the discussion long ago, because I've been in touch with Robert at some point, right? At some point longer, and he explained to me the vision of the clubs. He explained to me where you want to bring the clubs, and if he was feeling like maybe at some point it would be good to meet and have a discussion, because they want to go to with a new project, and for them it's really, really important. They have to be in touch with some of the candidates they think they will be suitable for the clubs. And I was very delighted. I said yes, and that one was long ago, to be honest. Yeah, 2-3 months, something like that. And because as well, you have a huge respect for the Vladimir, the head coach. He was doing a great job. He don't want to disturb, and I understand that it was perfect, and I agree with him in that sense.
You also said that you met his son, Vladimir Weiss, in Manchester City before.
Exactly.
So how well you know him? Or it is quite long time ago, but...
Yeah. I think Vladimir, of course, I have a memory of him, because he was a quiet guy. He's very nice, positive. Of course, in that period, Manchester City was a bit, I'm not want to say mess, but a bit difficult, because it was a lot of player coming, going, and, big clubs with a lot of money. You can imagine they can be able to change 11 players in 2-3 days, right? Because that's how Man City are so powerful in terms of financial capacity. But the time I spent, because I think I spent quite a while time with him, he's nice. He's always reserved, humble, quiet, shy a bit. But he was all good. It was really good.
We already spoke... when we are now speaking about the future, the nearest future maybe, as we are a competitive game for you, it will be outside of Slovakia, it will be capital of Estonia or capital of Georgia. So you've got some preference who would like to face, or you don't care so much?
No, to be honest, I don't really care. What me and my staff we want or we care about is the one who's gonna be qualified. We get them. That's it. And what we want to do is try to make sure we advance. That's very important for us, because the objective of the club is clear. We understand that, and with the staff, we want to make sure the things going on the way the club wants. And as well, I think with the support of the fans, is going to be very, very important.
What I liked in our interview, you said that we will be prepared for this round, or two legs, of course, and we want to go further. That's the most important thing. Yeah. But on the other hand, we don't want to underestimate no one.
Exactly, because it's very, very important to respect all the opponent. Because for me, football is football. You can play against the lowest team, and the level is not on your level, and still lose. Because can happen, you can play with a low team or less or weak team, and you can miss 10 chances, and they have one chance to score, and at the end of the day, you're losing the games. What I mean by saying that is we have to respect all the opponents. They arrive there because they deserve it at some point, and we don't have to minimize that. It's really important. We have to be ready, focus, and make sure we perform as we have to perform. That's it.
Decision will be made here in a second leg. So home ground, that's probably always a little bit better.
Exactly.
As you said in the interview, that you can read a little bit that opponent in the first leg.
Always play at home is always important, right? You play at home and with your home fans is always a plus, right? And I hope the message I'm gonna pass to the players and to the staff is that we have to always take advantage of that. The fans are there. They come in to support us. They come in as well to see us win, and that's what we want. And I hope the fans gonna come. They're gonna come massively in these games and support the team, because I know they're not gonna be disappointed with the team.
As we put that first video of you, as that walking video, let's say, was really like a shock maybe for a lot of people, because we never had an like head coach of your statue in our club as a brilliant footballer, and we saw a lot of comments there. For example, Rio Ferdinand was commented. What I was quite surprised, maybe from one side, because you've been always as opponents during your careers. You as a Barcelona or Man City player, him of course as a Man United legend. So how you made between you the friendship? How it started, or how it developed? Because you also replied to him that he will be welcome here to.
No, I think Rio is back in England. I call him Big Brother, right? Because I respect him a lot, right? And he's always been someone always try to, you know what I mean, to do some nice things or send some message. And when I'm in England, of course we keep in touch, right? And we always have this kind of conversation where he gives me some advice, and sometimes try to play with me and try to push me at some point. But now, you know, the social media is coming a funny place where sometimes we can talk a bit, you know what I mean, try to interact with fans. And but most of the time when we see us together, and back in England, we always close, we talk a lot. He's a nice guy. Now, fortunately, he leave England. He went to stay in Saudi, but we don't see us often like that. But that's why when he knew the news, he just sent me a nice chat and a reply, right?
Of course. You've been visiting so many countries during your career as a footballer, as an assistant of coach. And you've been born, of course, in Ivory Coast, but you spent maybe like most of your life in Europe. Where you feel the best, like at home? What was the best place for you?
I think for me, I might say I'm the person of the world, to be honest, because with my experience, with my time moving around, I think I learn a lot, you know, culture, language, understanding, environment, everything. Because, of course, even when I retire, I was still traveling again, right? Visiting different countries, try to understand more about the history, the culture. And I think for me, those kind of things is not going to be the problem at all. Adapting in Slovakia in terms of cultural environment, in terms of communication, because I know I'm really good in language, and I will try to make sure maybe at some point I'm gonna try to respond to the fans or to the players at some point, or to the staff as well, and the proper language. Because for me, it's always something like attract me a lot, right? Because I love to get going, right? I cannot keep going, because coming to the new country where I don't know a lot of things, it tricked my brain as well. Like, I like to know, I want to know more. I will have to learn from them, and I need to keep going and make sure I get closer to them, and make sure I start to speak with them, exchange, but not on English word, for example, but in their language. That's always interests me, to be honest.
So we can say like there is in the music world, there is you know the rapper Pitbull, yeah? You know him?
No.
Pitbull, no? You don't know him?
No.
He's calling himself like Mr. Worldwide. So you are a football Mr. Worldwide, we can say, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
So many different cultures, like Saudi, Ukraine, everything. Yeah,
I've been everywhere. I mean, sometimes I forget which country I've never been. But usually I remember the country I've been where I was playing and when I was coaching. But sometimes, you know, when I go holiday or I get invited by someone important in another country, I just go there and spend some couple of days or weeks, you know, and just do what I have to do and go back.
Your coaching career is just starting.
Exactly.
But about your professional career as a football player, what was your biggest achievement?
And football-wise, when I was playing, I think win for the country, right? And international
African Nations Cup.
Yes, because I think a World Cup we were far away. To be honest, we have to be, because me, I'm an honest person, right? And in terms of national team, the international, like a World Cup, we were far away. But you know, in the continents, I like African combination. We were close, and we were competing with the big. But among the three big country of football and the continent of Africa. And I was like, okay, that was my ultimate desire. Try to achieve that, and after that, I retire from the national team. And suddenly, I made that happen, and it was something brilliant, right? I'll never forget that. And after that, I move on. Right?
You look to me like very humble guy. but still you've been 4 times as the best African player.
Yeah.
In your time. So do you consider yourself as one of the best ever in from Africa as a player?
No, I think Samuel Eto'o have the same record with me. But you have a four, and the last one 3 consecutively, and the 4th one is different. But me, I have a 4 time in a row. As a big, that's quite big difference. But you know me, I'm always someone open, right? I love to learn. I love to improve myself, because I think in this industry, football-wise, as a coach or as a player, if you don't want to learn or improve, that means it's better you go retire, right? That means you have to go on your side and live your life the way you want it. But still, you want to be in this industry. People progress. People evaluate it, right? They have some coach, you have a better idea. Why not? Why you don't go close to him to learn from him and after that improve your games, right? I've always been someone like that. I like to improve, like to do better every time and improve me as a person, improve the other person as well.
You mentioned that you feel like football has changed.
Exactly.
Since you've been playing and now.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest change for you in your eyes?
Well, I think, because the evolution of football has been crazy, right? Because football now with the new method, new philosophy of some coach, and as well the players coming with it, the generation we have now is like, the gap is huge, right? Of course, now with all the technology we have it, the players, even the staff can improve themselves and they can be able to study the opponents is something we have to take in consideration. And now the football, everything's coming tight, right? The only major difference is like on the players. What I'm saying on players, like, okay, if you buy players of 100 million or 50 million, of course you're going to get better quality than 1 or 2 million, right? It's only this much. But in terms of technology, all the clubs are equipped for that now. They have analytical guys. They have a coach for free kick. They have coach for defensive corner. They have coach for personal development. Football now is a massive industry, right? And it's coming crazy. From my time, but okay, I'm not jealous or regretting, but I think like the evolution of football is coming huge and crazy.
And you like this way, or you just have to adapt simply?
Yeah, the thing is, like I'm saying, me, I love to develop and I love to, improve myself. And all this equipment, all these gigas around can make me develop or improve myself. Very welcome.
Mm-hmm. You scored so many goals outside of the box as a player.
Yeah.
This is maybe also one thing that we don't see so often in this modern football, we can say.
Yeah.
It is something you like to implement into our football.
Oh also? Yeah, maybe why not? But I think Tigran do that already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
From far. And I think R2 can do that as well. R2 is really good players, and I think Ibra is not bad as well. Nico can do that as well, and. Danilo is not bad. Peter, I think all of them have quite a strong shot. But anyway, they're going to try to build up from that. And of course, if you play against teams who are very deep down, it's difficult to break them down. What is going to happen? We're going to have to take our chance, right? No shot from 50 yards, right? Go just be reasonable. Shot from maybe 10 yards, 20 yards, or even 15 yards is not bad, right? Because when sometimes you play against an opponent who are defending very deep, it's difficult to break them down, right? What we want to just open up first. If you cannot, try to force it. And I think the shot can be useful in that sense.
You also said in the first interview that you like to use a formation 4-3-3.
Yeah.
You mean that you like to play all the time this formation, or maybe you want to adapt sometimes? As you said, some opponents are different in their tactics, or you would like to simply force our system?
No, I think for me, my identity is simple, right? Okay, of course, I'm gonna maybe at some point adapt because that's the modern days, the modern football. Some point you have to understand the strengths of your opponent, right? You don't have to underestimate that. That's important. But I want to just guide my team to have only one identity. And from there, if you have that base solid, after that, themselves, they're going to take the decision to adapt or to shift. Because when you're football players, what is not good for them is give them too much information, right? Mm-hmm. You want to give them maybe 2 or 3 information, and from that, they can decide what to do. Because at the end of the day, they are the protagonists, they are the stars for me. And for me, they are the one who make the decision, right? I will be in the dugout, try to correct the position at some point. But after that, they are the one who's going to take the decision in the field. But In that sense, what I'm going to try to do, first of all, stick in the principle 4-3-3. And after that, if the game's demands maybe go more forward, we will adapt. If the game's demands more compactness, we will adapt. But defensively, backward, no, I don't like that. I want my team to be front foot, have the control of the games, a bit aggressive, and try to make sure the fans and we as a football team, we're satisfied with what we provide to the fans.
This reminds me of one idea. I think Johan Cruyff once said that to play easy football is the hardest thing in the world.
Exactly.
That's probably something what you are talking about, right?
Exactly. I'm not trying to just advertise those kind of things, but me, what I will feel comfortable with is when my players, they're going to deliver that in the field, because all of the coaches have their idea. Sometimes it's difficult to share that with 25 players, but it takes times. But I hope they're going to grab that faster. And after that, the fans are going to see the result.
Mm-hmm. You've been maybe influenced with really great managers, but on the other side, you said that you would like to make your own way of seeing football. So how would you like to describe this?
Well, I think for me, my vision of football is quite clear. I don't undermine that those people have been influenced me in a certain way, to be honest. All those coaches I've been naming yesterday, they may influence, but I think they have their own vision, right? Me, I have my vision, and I want to implement that to my players, right? Each of them have a lot of good things, but each of them as well have some negative things I didn't like much, right? As a player, I saw some good stuff and some bad stuff as well, right? From them, those coaches. And as an assistant or coaches, when I get to this environment now, I see some good things and some bad things. And what I have for me is that try to make sure I get the right one and make sure I'm myself and what I'm trying to do here to be simple as possible, because otherwise it's going to be too complicated and too much information to my players.
I would like to ask you also about the assistants you chose.
Yeah.
Darren and Serge, quite young guys.
Exactly.
But they've got some history already. So, so why you chose them? You can say more, because we didn't speak about them yet.
Because I choose those people because they don't sleep like me. Because, for example, yesterday, to tell you something, I text Darren at 2 a.m. What is going to be easy? We can change this or we can change this. And he responds straight away. Because I want guys who work and guys who are going to challenge me, right? And at the same time, we want to keep the balance right. We don't want a huge transition. That's why I keep Timo, I keep Mate, physical preparator, and I keep as well Ludo, who's work with Mate. And as well, we're going to add some staff as well with the permission of Robert to get someone to help Mate. But again, local guy, because for me, it's really important. The players have to have this transition smooth, no drastic, because I don't like that, right? Even myself, I don't want to see something change like there and suddenly another thing is wow, I want them to keep cool. And Timo, for me, at the moment, is my best signing, to be honest, because he, between the players and me and my staff, is quite good coordination, is quite good information, really good. And as well, the keeper coach is the local people again. For me, it was really, really important. I discussed with the border, like not too much, right? Maybe if you give me one, perfect. If you give me two, fantastic. And after that, we can get the local, because I will need the local just to stabilize, have a smooth transition. Because for me, I think that's really important as well.
Still, I would like to ask you how you met them, or when you met Darren and Serge.
Well, that's tricky. Long ago. We know each other for like 2-3 years already, right? We've been working together. And what I love with my staff is that they were keeping working. When I was working, for example, in Standard in Belgium, for example, Darren was doing his stuff, Serge was doing his stuff. And what we do, sometimes we meet together, we go watch games. We have some of kind of... we try to adapt to ourselves, right? We see new innovative game. For example, Paris Saint-Germain, for example. We've been going to watch a lot of games in Paris Saint-Germain, for example. We go to France, we watch Paris Saint-Germain Champions League. We can watch Paris Saint-Germain and the league. And sometimes we share games together where we watch games if we cannot make it, because sometimes I have to respect their timing. Because sometimes when Darren's is working, because he was working at Celtic at that time, I let him do his job. When he finished, I told Darren, watch the game and tell me what you think. And if you have some day off, come to London, we meet. Serge, same, I go to Paris, meet him, we watch games together. We entertain this kind of thing, right? And I always alarm them and tell them if you see something coming, okay, we do, but it's better we know each other, and that's kind of type like that. They read my mind, they can learn from me as well what I want. If we come something get positive, and as well like that we don't lose time to know each other, try to work together for now. And that's not, for me, was not right. It was important to build up the team from the beginning, and after that we can have smooth work together.
You mentioned several times Paris. You've been living there before coming here, or where is your home? Where is your home? Everywhere.
I may say London, Ivory Coast, because my kids live in London. To be honest,
okay.
Yeah, my kids live in London. I have 3 kids. I have my wife. They all live in London, and my kids they've been 15, 20 years in London, right? They grew practically there, right? And I don't want to move them. Because of what I do, I move a lot, to be honest, and I leave them in London. And that's for me stable, because I don't want them to be a bit. Because one time I did that when I was playing in East Europe and Ukraine. I moved them to when I went to Greece, and there it was a bit complicated because the school, the learning, the
language, everything, culture
was tough for them. And it's when I lived down there, when I went to Barcelona, they come with me. And I was thinking like Barcelona would stay definitely. And suddenly I moved again in England after Barcelona. And I decided, okay, you know what? You're going to stay in London because I like the education. I like the life. They like the life there. And it was quite, you know what I mean? The diversity in England is huge, right? A lot of different ethnic people are there. And the kids like there, they like the school, they have a lot of friends there. And I said, okay, you know what, stay there. And me, it's just me, I make to them. And after I do what I want, it's fine.
So you're traveling all the time?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. I try, unfortunately, yes. But I'm used to it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So you're not tired of it, yeah? You just simply look at it like it needs to be like this.
Yeah, it needs to be like that. And as well, I like to be busy, to be honest. I like to be busy. That's why I said to you in the beginning, Jacob, I don't sleep much. To be honest, I don't sleep much because.
How many hours approximately?
Depends, but now I'm in the job because last time I spoke with Darren at 2 a.m. I watched the games, I slept, I come back to the job. I always arrive in the training at 7:30, and after that I stay all days and talking. After that we prepare the session for the following days in the morning. And we try to read, after we try to read the video, the Wawa players, to know them even more and more. But me, I already spent 2 weeks learning from them and watch their games, right? I watched a lot of games, right? And I know them, to be honest, a lot. They don't know. And sometimes when I go close to them and I say to them, they will look like me, oh, how he knows that? But they don't know I've been studying them for weeks. And that's why I like to be, I like to be occupied, to be honest. I like to do stuff. And I'm very organized. I like to sleep, rest if I need it, but if I don't need it, 5 hours sleep is enough. Is enough.
You said you are obsessed with football, so this is what that means. Even if you've got free time, you are still thinking about football, what to improve, maybe how to do, and like this, or maybe you can sometimes turn off and just focus on other things.
Because the good thing is, when I'm gonna be in the job, my family, wife and kids not gonna be close to me because they are maybe the only person who's gonna disturb me a bit. Because if I watch games and the living room, I want to watch something else, right? That means I have to take the iPad to go to the room, and after that you have your wife coming. Oh, I sleep, don't son. They are away from me. That's good. That means I can do what I want, right? I can watch football. I can close the TV at the time I want. That's all good. And that's what I like, dedicate and focus, because now the team is new, the players are new. I need to learn from them, like physically, you know what I mean, face to face, and like real. When we make the training, we make some videos and we check, and after that, the analytical send me the videos. I watch the session, I see what I can adapt, what I can improve, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I liked about you is just small thing you did. I think it's from yesterday or day before. I'm not sure right now. But you said to the Janko and Pedro that you'd like to wear the same clothes as other coaching staff. That you don't want to be like rare or different. Yeah. So it's as I said, small gesture, but it's speaking about something. So you can say more about that.
No, I think it's normal, right? The player have to know this is the stuff. Of course, yeah. The head coach without the staff, it will be nothing. You understand what I mean? I need my staff more than myself, to be honest. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Because those ones are really important. They're going to support me in the term of developing the players. They're going to support me in term of controlling the players.
You are like a team. Simply.
Exactly. I don't do everything by myself, and why being special, right? I don't know, maybe people love to do that, make a difference. But me and my staff, we won. And I want it to be like that. As long as I'm going to be here, I want it to be like that. Because for me, I think those one, behind the scenes, people don't see how hard they're working. Because me, okay, my job is going to be talk to the medias. But people don't know they prepare the session. Okay, I have to approve it. Sometimes I have to jump in the session to make it even intense or not intense. And they control me as well sometimes because me, I'm like very demanding, very aggressive in terms of like, oh guys, we have to do that, push them more. I want them to control me a bit because that's really important. And I want them to feel like we are family. Before we go to the player and said to them, they have to be family.
Mm-hmm. I spoke a little bit with the players so far about the training sessions, what they are saying and that, and they've been like really like, let's say that really trainings are intensive,
exactly.
but they like them and they said all of them
that
they said that they feel like they will be prepared for example this Champions League qualification round.
Yeah.
So that's good for you to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's always positive. That's why I said these lads are really good, right? I know what I was worried is like the shift because I don't know what they were doing with the ex-boss, with Vladimir. Vladimir is fantastic coach, with legends. He's been doing so great here. Of course, I need to change. I want to change stuff, but I don't want to change like quick. I know it's going to take times, but I want them to understand what they're doing first. Because what I change a bit is the intensity. I want it to be intense because my target and my goal is the player to understand the high levels is intense, right? I want to be able to transmit them that, like in the sense that if they face European team, if they have to face intensity from the opponent, they have the tools to respond. You know what I mean? Because for me, the idea is make sure they work well enough, one, hard enough, a second, to understand all this because we want to compete with those one. If you want to compete with those one, that's where they put the standard. And we, as a staff, we have to make sure the players understand that's the standard we want to achieve. Okay, may take times, but they have to understand that's the process to arrive there. And if they're willing to accept the sacrifice to get to there, we're going to help them to do that because I know it's not easy, right? I know it's not easy. What they've been doing since now is brilliant. They've been following everything. They've been listening. They've been trying to implement that. They've been doing a hard job, to be honest. I'm very delighted and pleased with what they're doing because I know if we carry on like that way, even they going to be surprised themselves. Believe me, Jacob.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that with the new coach, everybody's starting from 0 point, the players.
Exactly.
So you saw it the same way, yeah?
Exactly, because for me it's very important. I want to know everyone, even the one who was alone last year coming back. I have to give chance to everyone, right? It's not going to be fair from me coming and just try to do that. I understand at some point that, okay, we have a target, right? As a staff, we have a target. The clubs have the target. We have to reach that, but at least I have to give it a chance to the guys to express themselves and time as well enough to understand. It maybe works. It works. It maybe not works. We see.
Some, let's say, like new guys for you came today because of they represented national teams,
yeah.
like Artur
and Peter
Pokorny, yes, and that's the position you maybe know the best. I'm not saying that other position you don't know, but this is really like your position. So
exactly,
you are paying even more attention to these guys from that midfield area. Some point?
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I think I'll look overall. After that, go to details or go to individual. I have a look on that. But first of all, I have, as a team, I want them to understand how they have to play as a team. But after that, and the details, that maybe take a little bit times to implement the message clearly and what I want. But first of all, what I try to do is just show them some clips and show them the session we want to do. And after that, in the session they have to make sense for them in different area, for example. The midfielder, what you're going to get from there, like positive. Winger, what are you going to get from this session positive? Forward players, how are you going to get that and that session positive? You know, that kind of thing. I look all of that.
Every position is important.
Exactly. And after that, with the staff, we try to, look at the details. Okay, this guy did well, or maybe he was not comfortable with this session. Maybe we change. We go to all those kind of details, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sunday, you will leave with your team to Austria for a pre-season. So it will be just continuing the same trainings, or it will be something different in some way there, like compared to this?
No, because the game coming fast, and next month was close. What I want, my team, I want them to be ready. Before, maybe, if we're ready, because I'm going to try to make sure we're ready against Pavos, for example. Because after Pavos, we're going to have a few days before we play.
Thursday, yeah. And then
exactly. We're going to have a few days before we go away to play against this team. We're going to face, I don't know which team we're going to face in Champions League away. And that one, I want my players to be ready. And against Pavos first, right? It's going to be the first home games. The fans going to see them. And I want them to see these kind of things. Okay, maybe not perfect, but football, it takes times. And as well, is the players coming back. Okay, now Cesar Blackman is in the World Cup. We wish him well, but at the same time, I want to have him with me.
Of course.
Like that, if you're with me, good, right? Because like that, we can work on that, some details, because it's the new coach coming, new staff. You need to know us, and we need to know him as well. It's important. But of course, but he play for his country. We wish him well. But I hope he don't gonna stay too long because I need him here. You know what I mean? But all positive, right? It's very important. I want my players to be ready, because this elimination or this qualification is very important for the clubs and for the staff as well.
Also, we are waiting for Tigran and Andras.
Exactly.
When they will come?
Tigran, I see him yesterday. He's gonna come with us. 21. He come with us. He's gonna come with us in Australia. And Andras is gonna be here as well. Andras is gonna be. He's gonna join. I think he's gonna join at 21 or 19. Andras is here 19. And Tigran is gonna be 21. We're gonna go together. But anyway, both of them will be with the group for sure.
About our opponents in pre-season, there are some big names like Crvena Zvezda. You mentioned Pafos, Slavia Prague.
Slavia Prague, yeah.
So how glad you are with that opponents? Quality we will face.
Yeah, he's good quality, because that's what we want. Because at some point, where we're gonna go, if we want to go further on the qualification for the Europe, we need to face that kind of team. Like that, I can see how my team will react against this adversity. But I will rather, maybe, if I said to you, have you heard her choose easy team, it will be, I'm not going to see nothing, right? I need to see them in the situation where the confrontation is equal, or maybe even a little bit better, for example. See how they react and see how they're going to try to perform, yeah? Because after all, I like the player. I like my player to have a personality, right? Okay, you're good, me too, I'll show you I'm good, right? We respect them, but as well, we need to show ourselves. That's important. And this kind of game can tell me a lot. After that, when we get to the qualification, I know how to handle, how to behave, and how to make sure my players going to behave. Because for me, it's very important my players, they understand what I want from the beginning. But after that, time is going to tell me how they are and how they react. And after that, how I have to make sure they behave well and to be at a top performance.
When you started to think that you will become one day a head coach?
That was long
ago. It was
ago.
during your player career already, or
no? I think
after that.
I think when I left Man City, I went to Olympiacos. I have a short spell, and I worked with Martin Pedro. He was at that time was the head coach. He was the coach of Olympiacos, but now he left. I think he's in Saudi, something like that. I heard that anyway. I don't have too much information about that, but now I heard he's there. It was him, first of all, start to talk with me, because when we were talking tactical with the leader of the team, he want me to give him feedback about how I think, how I see. And he was telling to me, it's quite interesting. You have good idea. Maybe you may one day be coach. And I was like, whoa, that's true, because I was sure like at some point I have to retire as a footballer. But after that, what I do? And I get to the conclusion, yes, more than that, why when I was in China and I retire, I have nothing to do. Actually, I don't like holiday. I like to be busy. Right? And when I retire, I'll go to the program of FIFA and UEFA. when I was legend there, I travel a lot. I'll see games. I speak football with important people in football as well. And after that, give me the leaf like, well, okay, it's better if I complete all my degree as a coach. License, and after that, exactly, I like that. After that, I can integrate it because that was my things. And after that, during this process, I have the chance to be sport director, but I tried a bit, but I didn't like. And I said, no. I prefer
you would not be so busy, maybe.
Exactly. I want to be in the grass because I like the grass. I like the smell of the grass, and I like the players around me and talk to them, share knowledge, give them advice or direction. I love it.
Mm-hmm. If you should put a team of 5 of your former teammates, the best team, what do you put? Because you play with some really great players.
Thank you, Jacob.
Who would be there?
Messi for sure.
Yeah.
Puyol. With the goalkeeper as well, right? Or no goalkeeper?
Probably with the team you don't need a goalkeeper, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Puyol, Company, and the 2 midfielder Iniesta. Iniesta, Xavi. That's complicated.
So there's only Barcelona so far.
Exactly, because they were so good. Okay, Puyol, Company, Andres Iniesta, Messi, and front Trubao, Samuel Eto'o is crazy. But
crazy was Balotelli, for example.
Yeah, Balotelli was something else. But it was a good guys, right? It was. Unfortunately, people don't understand him at some point, but...
I didn't mean it in a wrong way, just...
No, exactly.
You said exactly. Crazy, so...
No, but actually...
In some way, he was crazy.
He's a special character. Balotelli is a special character. Everything you tell him to do, he did the opposite. That's how Balotelli was. Like that, you can understand, right?
Can you tell us some funny story with him, or is too private?
Balotelli, one time Balotelli, I think the first time I met him... No, not the first time I met him. When I arrived to Man City, my first signing, when I signed in 2011, right? And we have a pre-season. We come back from pre-season. Before we win the pre-season, we have, 10 days, 12 days at Manchester, for example. And Balotelli, first day, he show off with a white Bentley, right?
Okay.
After the 10 days, 12 days, we went to the pre-season camp. When we come back from pre-season camp, 2-3 days, Balotelli show with the Bentley, but the color, the military color, you know?
Okay.
Different color, but like military. And I was saying,
it was the same car or
with the same car. It was the same Bentley, but the color of the military, you know, green, dark, something like that. And it was 3 color on the car. I said, Balotelli, but why are you doing that? He said, this is a fashion car. We were like, but Balotelli, okay, but he said, no, he prepared the car. The car now have... The car at the time was 650 horsepower, right? He pushed that to 700 horsepower. And plus he changed the paint of the car. Or the Bentley was originally white. And it was nice. Clean, nice.
Yeah.
But he want to change that. But that's Balotelli.
Fashion.
It's crazy. But anyway, good one.
How would you describe yourself as a person? Because as we said before, you look really humble for what you achieved already. And you, I think, mentioned yesterday on a press conference that you are shy type of person also. So what do you like to tell more about yourself? I know it's hard to say about yourself.
Yeah, because I try to find something. But I'm the person who like to be on this, I love to learn from people and I love to develop myself, right? I can't stop doing that, just listen to people, change with people, try to know more about them. As a person, I'm a quiet person, right? I'm just reserved. I like to be in my bubble, if I can say that. But I'm a hard worker as well, to be honest. I work non-stop. I love it, because I love my job. Because football for me, you can imagine, Jacob, I come from Africa, right? From Africa, we have, I have something, but for me, football was everything. Okay, I go school, I study, but football for me was that thing. And after, what bring me in Europe is football, right? And I mean, football give me everything. And now, see myself out of football is impossible, okay? And for me, I'm grateful, of course, to do that. But I think I'm so lucky as well. And as a person, I mean, that's why I'm like that, normal, and understand what I achieve, understand as well what good things come to me, grateful as well in the same time, because, okay, it's not easier, right, for the owner. Ivan, CEO, is a brilliant person, because, of course, it's not every day you met CEO like that, right? Because I'm not saying in Europe, those CEO are quite arrogant, may I say that, but of course it's there a little bit. But Ivan is simple, right? Nice person, quite friendly. He opens his hand all the time. You see how we shake the hands. I don't see a head coach shake the hand of his CEO like family,
friends,
like friendhoods, And same with Roberts. Those one, you know what I mean? They're so nice, and they give me desire to work hard for them, right? And I think the trust they put on me, I have to give them back. That's that moon I am, right? Make sure they're happy with my job and make sure the fans are happy with the job as well. Because, of course, it's a huge responsibility, clubs. Of course, we all understand that, but they part as well. They're doing everything to make this club becoming successful and anything. And that's what I love about it. They're young as well. They're positive. They look good. Ivan is, big, good looking, very nice guy, no arrogance at all, humble. He can live his life the way he wants, but he respect people, and that's very good, And when he come to me, match straight away because Ivan character, Robert character is fantastic. And after that, the vision of the club, when the club want to achieve winning stuff, because me, as a player, I was winner. Now I was a coach. I want to carry on that way. And the vision match, And that's why I think this opportunity was great. And for me as a person, grateful, happy. And what am I complaining about?
And this is your mentality as a hard worker, as you said, that you are coming from, of course, Ivory Coast, Africa. Maybe like not easy way of life there.
Exactly.
So you had some role player you are looking at, like you would like to become like him or something when you were very young, or you've been simply by your own and
exactly. No, because when I was young, of course, I love watching games, but I don't know if you know Socrates. Socrates, he was an ex-Brazilian player because he was tall, skinny. I want to look like him. And after that, when the game was going on, after that I met, I see Patrick Vieira, excellent player, because I admire players who have my physical appearance, right? Like that, I can imitate them a bit, because I cannot imitate Romario because his size like this. I cannot do what he does, right? And as well, I was midfielder. I try to compare or see similarity with players where I can focus on and make sure
to do similar things.
Exactly. And after that, when I start to have this kind of target, after that, I feel like I can do even more. And after from there, started. But in the beginning, Socrates, Patrick Vieira, they was my idol, to be honest.
I just had one idea as you spoke about that top 5 of your former teammates, and you mentioned already just Barcelona players. That you've been brilliant midfielder, but in the Champions League final, you've been as a central defender. So that means how good that Barcelona team was, probably.
No, we were very good, but as well, because we get to the point where at some point, I want my players to be multitask. The players who are capable to play a lot of different positions, for example, because like when we were talking about adapt to the opponent, I say I want my players to understand 2 or 3 positions in the field. Like that for me will be the top. That's my target. Make sure my player can play different positions. Like that for the opponent, we're going to be very unpredictable and very difficult to deal with. Because if you, for example, Tigran play wide side and I take Tigran play in the midfield or Tigran play deeper midfield, they're going to say, what is this guy doing there? He can do the job, right? And that's my target.
So that was also like part of tactic for that final with you?
Exactly, because Barcelona, you remember I was playing deeper midfielder? And at some point when we have a problem in the defensive style, because Marquez was injured, because Daniel Alves was suspended, and Abidal was suspended, we have to shift everything, right? And if I go on the central back, Busquets take a deeper midfielder. Silvinho, we didn't play a lot of games. I have to play, but it was tough for him. But we just have to cover him. And Puyol go right back, and we were good. We win 2-0 this game, and it was brilliant.
You said you are an honest person. I need to be honest too. You made me sad at that time because I was watching United all my life, and you won that game, of course. So
no, but now you Slovan. Yes, kind of Slovan. Then it's good now.
I was born here in Bratislava, so Slovan all the way. But except of Slovan, only Man United I was watching. To be honest.
Yeah, no, I understand. No problem. But now you're Slovan.
You're not angry with me right now.
No. No, all good.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you to you, Jacob. Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best. And
thank you. I will need it.
See you soon.
See you soon, Jacob. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Jacob.
Ďakujem všetkým za pozornosť a tešíme sa na vás pri ďalších podcastoch, ďalších zápasoch a vidíme sa. Majte sa, pekný deň.